Good morning, everyone. We're DCisions, and we're here to give retail investors clarity. Let's wind the clock back. Before indices like the Dow Jones came along, it was hard to work out the quality of fund managers. Every investment decision was active. Tracking did not exist. You could not benchmark performance. Despite the huge impact of indices around the world since then, there's still no factual data that helps consumers with three fundamental questions. Number one, how do I define what risk means? Two, how should I allocate my portfolio to match my risk preference? And three, how do I know if my results are fair, given the risk I take and the fees I pay? With risk, consumers are forced to rely on opinion. It's a gap so big we struggle to see it. Think about it. Today, there is no objective benchmark for risk-adjusted performance for a retail investor. I saw that problem firsthand at UBS, and that's when I thought we could solve that problem by taking indexing to the next level, by indexing portfolios. Let's take a look at our first consumer app, InvestorBee. Our big idea is to use big data to measure what consumers actually experience. The great news is this data already exists in enterprise transaction systems. Some of the world's biggest companies are sharing this data with us. Currently, we're monitoring the risk and the return in more than 1 million real portfolios, month on month, for more than 5 years of history, right here in the Hive. This clear and simple picture defines risk at 5 stages from low to high, and it defines a fair result at each different level of risk. For example, consumers taking medium risk achieved a £20 return on a £100 investment 3 years ago. Crucially, that's after fees. Within that group, some people took the same risk and lost £16. Consumers are oblivious to this gap. Why? Because their portfolios hit their self-proclaimed benchmarks, benchmarks that mean nothing to consumers. Our database is turning the lights on to make things easier. Now, in 1951, a Princeton University student wrote a thesis. He claimed investors would be better off achieving an average result than trying to beat the market. He was right, and he founded Vanguard. Trouble is, even Vanguard cannot tell you what average looks like at portfolio level. InvestorBee can. Within the My Account section, customers can access a PDF that shows how consumers allocate investments across 5 different risk levels. In this example, we're looking at all portfolios in the medium risk band. InvestorBee is sharing real facts about real investors, and we're disrupting services from companies like Morningstar. If you think about it, it's not the detailed features of an individual product that matter. In fact, it's the value of those products in the context of other choices that consumers could make. InvestorBee gives that context. We're harnessing big data to index risk, return, and asset allocation in more than 1 million real portfolios today. We're making investing simpler and smarter for consumers. This might remind you of ITA Software, the power behind Google Flight Search. They took enterprise data from airlines to simplify travel shopping. We're doing something very similar. We're taking enterprise data from financial institutions to simplify investment shopping. Without real portfolio data, all you have is judgment calls. We call it old school wealth management. And we're very excited to announce that from next month, InvestorBee benchmarks like you see on this PDF will be available for free to consumers. We're giving away data to remove the mystique of investing and to win trust, to put consumers back in control. How many of you would love a straight answer from your advisor about how they would invest your money without having to hand over your cash? We'll give you that answer. Make one simple decision, how much risk you want to take, and leave the rest to us. Let's take a look at a virtual account. Say you want to invest a lump sum of £100, and you're interested in taking medium risk. Just hit calculate. Our database of more than 1 million live portfolios is sharing the net results of real people based on the risks they actually take. And it's not just investing we can help with. Based on 7 simple questions, InvestorBee identifies what type of saver you are. Users can explore their InvestorBee family to learn about people like them. We can see here that focused bees on average save £162 a month. Their priorities are retirement, their kids' education, and paying down their mortgage. We provide the knowledge and the peer pressure to put consumers on the right track to investing simply and with confidence. And that means saving more, another reason financial institutions are sharing their data with us. We see a huge opportunity for simple facts to disrupt how consumers buy investment products. First, by defining what risk means. Second, by showing real portfolio allocations from low risk to high. And third, by calculating a fair return after fees at each risk level. As the Financial Times said less than 2 weeks ago, average performance as defined by an index represents lofty ambition. It's something to be aspired to. The last time there was an information gap like this was the day before the Dow Jones launched. Indices became the way to measure fund managers. They drove a wave of new products. InvestorBee does the same for multi-asset funds. Today, the market is flooded with all sorts of multi-asset products and no way to benchmark them objectively. InvestorBee provides the backbone for marketing and distributing multi-asset products. Why? By indexing real portfolios, we can benchmark risk and return. With data from our partners and the unique ability to transform it, we're driving the next wave of innovation in money management. And I'm so excited to announce at Finovate today that very shortly, in time for ISA season, InvestorBee will be launching fact-based ratings for 400 multi-asset mutual funds on sale today in the UK market. InvestorBee is using big data to give investors clarity and a smarter way to buy investment products. Thank you.